Hey everybody, what's going on? Just got done with our Fish the Moment on the Water lesson at Grand Lake today, and just wanted to give you guys an update. I haven't done any lake reports here lately, so I wanted to give you guys an update on Grand Lake since I was on it today, and Lake of the Ozarks since I was on it for a week last week, and Table Rock since I've been on it a few days here recently, and sort of give you guys a feel for what's going on around the area lakes here. But hey, before we get into it, just wanted one quick reminder. Just wanted to remind everybody on March the 18th, Johnny and I have our next virtual seminar, and him and I are going to be doing one together on spring jig fishing. And this is going to be an awesome seminar. It's going to cover everything you need to know about pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn jig fishing. A lot of information, you know, from everything from fishing deep with jigs to fishing shallow with jigs. So check it out at fishthemoment.com, and I'll include a link here in the description where you can go and sign up for that. I'm not sure how many Johnny's taken this time, but I'm sure there's a few more openings at this point. But okay, let's get into this lake report here, what we're going on. Let's start out with Grand Lake since I was on Grand today. And first of all, I want to say overall, when you're talking about Grand Lake, Table Rock, and Lake of the Ozark, fishing pretty much sucks right now. I mean, just to be honest with you. I mean, you can catch some fish, but like I said, it's not easy right now. That, you know, it's been so dang cold the last 2 weeks. All of these lakes were frozen over 2 weeks ago. So you've got a lot of, you know, I think a lot of the fish are just really affected by that super severe cold and the lake being frozen over with the dead shad and all of that. So overall, the fishing is super tough everywhere right now. Grand Lake, looks like it's a foot or two low right now. Lake's pretty dirty even down the lake, more dirty than what it normally is, and which that's not a good thing for this time of year, because normally that lower end of the lake is a little bit better right now. But you know, with the dirty water and the cold water, that's what makes it tough. And if you guys saw the college tournament they had here last week, it was super tough. I mean, I think 13 pounds was 13 pounds a day or something like that won the tournament, which, you know, for Grand Lake, that's pretty bad. And it's just tough fishing right now. Water temperatures are ranging anywhere between the mid 40s to around 50 degrees. If you get up into some of the river arms, some of the backs of the creeks right now, you got close to 50-degree water, and you also have a ton of boats in that type of area. But basic patterns right now, and this is going to hold true for all three reports I'm going to give you. There's some other stuff going on, but if you're not throwing an Alabama rig right now, you're not going to be catching much, and you're definitely not going to be winning the tournaments. If you guys saw my video this morning I did on the Alabama rig live scope, that's the same as it is at Grand right now. It's all about the live scope, it's all about the Alabama rig, and it's all about looking for those bass that are just roaming and chasing those shad schools. That's just the reality of it. And it's probably going to stay that way until, you know, that water starts to get into the mid 50s and the fish start getting up on the banks a little bit more. Today for us, you know, on the water lesson, we had a tough day today, and we caught some fish, but it wasn't easy by any means. And it's going to stay that way, like I said, until that water temperature starts to get mid 50s. Once that water temperature starts to get in the mid 50s, where it's in the mid 50s right off the bat in the morning, you're going to start seeing a lot of those better fish start relating more to the bank and less to those shad schools. So Grand's tough right now. Table Rock Lake is probably, out of the three lakes, is the best. It's fishing the best right now, because anytime that you have severe cold like we have right now, the Clearwater lakes are less affected by it. They have a lot more options because they can go deeper. So that's why Table Rock's fishing the best right now. It's actually fishing pretty decent overall. I mean, it's sort of the same deal. It's a live scope and Alabama rig deal. There's some other things going on. There's some jerkbait fish being caught. There's some deep fish being caught. There's some, you know, you're starting to get a few fish on a wiggle wart and that type of stuff. But it's the same thing with Table Rock Lake right now. All those good fish are getting caught off the bluff ends, off the channel banks, out of the submerged timber, live scoping with an Alabama rig. You know, as I hate to say it, my two least favorite things in this sport, and that's how all the fish are getting caught right now. But if you had a choice out of the three lakes between Table Rock, Lake of the Ozarks, and Grand, I would definitely recommend Table Rock, just simply because you have more options. One of the things I would advise out of Table Rock Lake right now, I'd advise staying out of any of the river arms, James River, Kings River, Long Creek, all that type of stuff. You're going to do a lot better on the main part of the lake. On the lower to mid part of the lake, there's not that many dead shad there. And like I said, you can catch them anywhere between 5 to 50 feet deep right now. And Table Rock ought to be getting better, the same as like Grand, once that water starts to get in the mid 50s. Lake of the Ozarks, real familiar with what's going on up there. Spent a week on it up there. Lake of the Ozarks. Don't let the 20 pound a day tournament winning weight that it took in the Toyota Series fool you on Lake of the Ozarks. Lake of the Ozarks is tough as nails right now. If you take the live scope and the Alabama rig out of the equation on that tournament last week, you wouldn't have seen half the fish caught in that tournament. Everybody, I'm not saying everybody, but the vast majority of the field that did good, and it was a top heavy tournament. There was a lot of zeros in that tournament. There was a lot of ones. A lot of guys struggled. I mean, I had 9 pounds for 2 days and finished in the 70s in the tournament, if that gives you any indication how tough it was. So don't let the fact that it took 60 pounds to win that tournament make you think those fish are biting at Lake of the Ozarks, because it's super tough there. Once again, Lake of the Ozarks, it's all about the Alabama rig and the live scope deal. If you're not doing that, you're not going to be winning tournaments. You're not going to be catching good fish. But Grand and Table Rock and Ozarks, it's all the same deal. It's all about water temperature right now. Once that water temperature starts, getting up, close to 55 degrees in the morning, those good fish are going to be getting shallow at Lake of the Ozarks. They're going to be getting behind the boat docks. You'll be able to catch them on a jig. You won't have to be out there live scoping right now with an Alabama rig, and they'll also be getting on a big spinnerbait here pretty soon up there. So things are on the verge of changing big time, and we're right on the cusp of a major movement of the fish in all three lakes. And what we need about a week of warm weather, the longer daylight hours with that warmer weather, getting closer to that spawn time. It's going to get those fish moving up there and biting good. But anyway, as far as the report goes, if I could give you guys some advice right now, with some really bright sun there, if I can give you guys some advice right now, if you go to the lake, just put everything away except for your Alabama rig. Just bring an Alabama rig and don't do anything else. Go looking for those areas those fish are using the Alabama rig, fish those pre-spawn areas, and for the next couple weeks, that would be my suggestion. If you don't do that, you're going to have a pretty tough time. You can catch some fish, obviously, but you're not going to catch the kind of fish that you're going to take to do good in the tournament. So anyway, that's a little update report here. Again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to start heading back to the house, and we'll talk to you later. See you.